Afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on which part of the world you are in. My name is LN Mishra. I'm going to be the host for this short webinar. Some of you may know me because some of you could be already associated with Adaptive. Those of you who may not know me, I am a practicing business analyst, a data analyst for close to 27 years now. And I run the business analysis competence at Adaptive US. I have been teaching training on business analysis for almost 15 years now. Had the privilege to talk to about 10,000 business analysts around the world. Of them, about 2,200 are now IIBA certified, which I consider probably a world record. I am not aware of anybody else who has got so many students IIBA certified. Secondly, I also I also happen to be the first business analyst in the world so far to complete all 7 IIBA certifications. So most of my time goes in teaching business analysts, writing about business analysts, and doing some amount of consulting work as well. So one quick question to all of you, where are you joining from? So which country? Other than anybody from Canada, I would believe there should be some people from Canada. Ratandeep, is Ratandeep from Canada? I would believe so. The name sounds familiar to me. No? Okay. Anybody beyond North America? Someone from Europe or some other country?
United Kingdom. I'm from London.
Oh, okay. Very good. Okay. Anybody from Saudi Arabia or Middle Eastern countries? No? Anybody from Australia?
From Baku.
Okay. Which place did you say?
From Baku.
Baku. Okay.
Azerbaijan.
That's European, no? If I'm right?
It's in between.
Okay, good. So thank you all for joining us today. We already have more than 35 participants. It's a good time to start. So I just asked a very quick question to all of you saying, where are you from? And some of you said, oh, somebody from Ghana. Badua, that's nice to meet somebody. Siri is from New Jersey, somebody from Denmark. But the person has not put his profile name, so it's fine. Okay, I'm glad there are people from so many parts of the world joining us today. So one question I would always tell you, or one thought process I'll always tell you, I always believe people who learn, they lead. People who stop learning, they kind of fall apart. And in today's age, it's important to learn because all of you know, we are in knowledge economy and our knowledge is our power. That is what drives our competence, salary, so many things is driven by the knowledge that we hold. So I believe all of you must have seen this particular advice, which says, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay. Can someone help me with this? What is this advice about? Anybody who would like to explain this simple advice? No one? No one has heard this advice? Don't put your eggs in one basket.
I'll go ahead and take a shot. This is Laura. Don't put all your eggs in one basket means to diversify your knowledge, have different areas of expertise or things that you can rely on so you can change and be flexible and not be stuck in one place.
True. This is a very good advice. And although we hear this advice mostly in the financial perspective, it also applies to our skills perspective as well. Because the way things are changing, maybe one particular skill becomes obsolete. And if we have multiple skills under our bucket, it helps us to kind of diversify our risks. And within the organization, we can show better value. Because if the organization starts feeling that this particular task no longer requires a human being, to some extent, I see that happening, or the need for human resources coming down. And I personally have tried new LLM tools and all that. And I see that whatever we needed 3 people to do, now we can achieve similar output with just 1 person. So obviously, if we are sticking to one particular role, which is the requirements analyst role, that's what we in IIBA parlance call as business analyst. And that's what I have been teaching for a very long time as well. So I always feel the demand for requirements analysts is not going to grow very high. Because one of the things that LLMs do very well is they scrape the internet and they give you fairly good requirements if you ask them to provide you requirements. I'm not saying that the activity will completely stop, but the demand for that activity I don't see growing. What has been your observation about the demand for requirements analysts? Is it going up, going down, staying flat? What do you guys see in the marketplace? All of you are there, no? All of you are in the job market. I would believe so. All of us observe, no? Do you see many, many jobs opening up for requirements analysts? I don't see that much, Maybe some
Hello.
jobs are opening up. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yes. Hi. Yeah, I haven't seen any too many jobs specifically for requirements analysis.
Good. It used to be a great role in the past when we had popularized this BA role, saying you need somebody to understand business needs and put them into a particular structure. I believe, if not today, in next 1 year's time, a good part of that would probably be automated. I've seen that happening to project management roles, where a lot of project management tasks have been kind of automated, and we see a very few project manager roles opening up. So that's why I'm kind of telling you that as if you happen to be a requirements analyst, which has been my audience for a very long time, it's important for you to scale up, learn a new area, and make sure that you are able to add much more value to a company so that your job is secure. That's my aim to tell you. And one of the areas which I feel which is growing quite well is the data analytics space. Now, every field that you go, it grows, it matures, and then it declines. This will happen to data analytics as well. No, don't think that data analytics also going to be an evergreen field which will not see a demise. Every field I've seen. How many of you have seen the demand for ERP consultants? Anyone here who has been an ERP consultant some point in professional life?
Yeah.
So how
Yes,
was the
me.
demand? How was the demand for ERP consultants, say 10, 15 years back? You could charge a premium, for being an ERP consultant. Now, again, ERPs have become easier. People understand them much better. There are many more people who know ERPs. So the demand has fallen and then kind of the salaries have stagnated and opportunities have stagnated. So when the opportunities are growing, that's when we should take advantage of those opportunities. That's what I'm going to talk to you today. Okay, so coming back, there is a very nice offer that we will make at the end of the webinar. So those of you who would like to stick to the end will get that opportunity. This is the data that I collected from a US government website. And I can actually even copy the link for you just to kind of have the confidence that what I'm talking is right. So I'm just going to put it in the chat here. 1 second. Where is the chat? Q&A. Okay, I will do one thing. Where is my opportunity to write a chat note for you? Live stream, whiteboard. Sometimes it is a little bit clunky to understand how chat is here. Okay, I got it. So I'm going to send it to all of you. So this link, which is a US government link, and that very clearly tells that data analytics or data as a space will grow about 30% between 2021 to 2031. So in this decade, it's going to see a 30% growth. And because organizations have been able to capture a lot more data. So if I look back at my work life, I started about 33 years back. Yeah, it's a long time. So in those days, data capture was a painful process. So only human beings captured data for computers. Then we had an evolution called internet, which all of us use almost every hourly basis, I would believe so. And that started capturing a lot of data. Then we had an evolution called mobile computing, which allowed us to capture a lot more data, location data, those kind of things. Then we had an evolution for IoT, where devices started capturing a lot of data. So organizations have very rich data now, and they can leverage this data for their betterment. Say, for example, if I look at a company like Adaptive US, we are a very tiny company, and still I can show you the data that we are able to get it from Google. Okay. And this is something, I'll show you something interesting. And you can see what Google is capturing for us. And in fact, I got something called Insights, which is a new thing that came up. And my colleague was showing me just about yesterday and said, LN, do you know, Google tells us topics where we are doing very well. Okay. It also tells us topics where we are not doing well. And this is all coming without any investment on our side. This is happening because Google is tracking all the websites, all good websites in the world, and giving you that data. Now, this kind of data was unthinkable even just about 10 years back. So in just 10 years, there's so much data capturing is happening around the world. And obviously, that's why people say, no, data is oil, data is this, data is that. It's primarily letting you understand how your business is doing and where do you need to work on. Like, say, for example, you see here and you see here, we have gone down by 42% in just about last 28 days. Is this something good for our business or not so good for our business? When you see a decline, is it good? Definitely not, no? Because this is what we sell. So it automatically prompts me to think what is making this happen, and I need to investigate this decline and take actions to arrest this decline. So welcome to data analytics. Okay. So all of you can see as business analysts, you can play multiple roles. And many of us have been playing the role of requirements analysts for quite some time. Like I have played the role of requirements analyst starting the year 1996. No, it's a long, long time. Then I kind of started this enterprise called Adaptive US, and I did play the role of requirements analyst as well. We have created many tools for our learners community. Many of you might have used those tools as well. I've done some work for our clients as well in the requirements analysis space. But the need for data analytics also grew because as a small business, we need to understand what is working, what is not working. And we started investing some time and money into organizing our data. I'm not saying we have perfected the art, but we are definitely much better today compared to 4 years back or 5 years back. We understand our product categories, where are they performing well, which region, which products do well. And that is actually helping us to create newer products. Say, for example, I will show you a page, which is a new product that we introduced recently. And this was primarily for regions like Africa, Asia, where it's very hard to sell at the same price point that you sell in the US or Canada. So, and even in US and Canada, there are some people who would like to have a very affordable product, and that came from data analytics. So we introduced a lightweight product from our masterclass. And of course, we kind of scaled down the pricing as well. And you can see here, it's almost scaled down to 50% price. And this is an outcome of data analytics as well. So you can see practically data analytics can be so powerful for businesses because You can actually look at business data, see the trends, see the root cause. Sometimes you will actually go back and figure out if something has performed very well, why did it perform so well? Or something hasn't performed very well, what is the reason why it hasn't performed very well? So my aim is to kind of scale up many of you from year to year. And of course, many of you could also look at product owner as an additional extension, cybersecurity as an additional extension, but do diversify. Okay. Don't get stuck with one particular skill set because the skill set could face some headwind due to whatever reason. Maybe technology is changing, products are coming into the market, so the need for requirements analysis may not be growing as much as we expected it to grow. It has grown quite well over the last 30 years, but it is in the decline phase. And the other reason I'm trying to tell you is there are a lot of skills that overlap between us, the requirements analysts, and the business data analysts. So all of us know problem solving. No, we have been solving our business problems by developing solutions. All of us understand stakeholder management very well. All of us understand communication as a key skill for ourselves. We are generally quite good with change management. So those kind of things are required both by business requirements analysts and business data analysts. So there are a lot of common skills which you can use. But where it comes to the differences is something I have written here. So on this side, we focused on eliciting requirements, modeling requirements, putting them into some document format. We started using tools like Jira, Balsamiq. On this side, it is slightly different. Here, the emphasis is on data collection and finding solutions first through data by analyzing data, looking at patterns, and using tools such as Excel, which I believe you already used in the other side as well. But some more tools like SQL, Power BI, Tableau. In fact, I had used a lot of SQL here as well. I don't know about you folks, because when I was an ERP consultant, a lot of times we needed data to be understood, corrected, a lot of things we used to do. And that time SQL was a very useful tool as well. So are you folks using SQL as part of requirements analysis work as well? Or you never touch SQL? Many of you may already be touching SQL, I would believe so. But on this side, the SQL becomes an important skill. Okay, so how do you actually go ahead and make yourself a competent data analytics professional as well? So the starting point would be to understand the DA process, because the DA process is slightly different from requirements analytics process or requirements analysis process, which you probably studied in BABOK. No? So many of you may be familiar with BABOK or a similar guidebook. I believe many of you might be generally familiar with BABOK. I would believe so. If not, I would always recommend BABOK is a kind of a copyrighted material, so you can't use it without buying it. But there is a core standard that IIBA has published called BA standard, which is free of cost. And that particular standard is a summary of BABOK. So it's a pretty decent book to start with, in case you are keen to learn a little bit about this. Unfortunately for this, IIBA hasn't given any free guide, which I think is a good idea. Maybe I should talk to IIBA and say, like we created BA standard, should we create a simpler version of our guidebook and give it for free? So the first thing I will say is to learn the analytics process. What are we trying to do? So the primary purpose of data analytics is twofold. One is to create dashboards. Many of you might have heard the need for dashboards. Why do we need dashboards? Anyone? What is the reason that companies build dashboards?
I think we need dashboards because we need the data. So we can create dashboards which will capture all the data, because the data tells a story, and then it helps decision makers and the analysts make informed decisions.
Very true. So I will show you a simple dashboard that we use at Adaptive Uh, Pardon me for using adaptive as a guinea pig, because I understand adaptive much better than I understand other companies. I left my last job in IBM in 2005. So it has been quite some time I was in another company. So now mostly my experience is with adaptive, and that's why it's important to understand. See, when we implemented this particular tool, I worked like a requirements analyst. Initially, when we were implementing the CRM solution, it's a decent CRM solution that we have implemented. But as we run a business, I need to understand how things are happening. And you can observe here, this is something like a very important dashboard for me, which is telling me how many prospects I am generating every day. Why number of prospect matters to us as a business?
Sorry, we call
We're
this?
only seeing, yeah.
Confused screen.
Sorry. 1 second, then let me stop it and reshare it. 1 second, where is the resharing? Entire screen. That's much easier. Okay. So now you must be seeing a presentation, but I will switch to the HubSpot dashboard. And this is what I was showing you, saying this is how many prospects I'm generating on a day basis. And you will see an anomaly here. It's very clearly different from what we see on a regular basis. And this is basically, we did a manual action because there was some data that was there in some other system which never came to us. Like we have an LMS system. There also we collect prospects, but they were not coming to our CRM because these people were buying directly. So they never became a prospect. But now I can see the trend and I can see how is it getting better, getting worse? It had gone down, but I'm glad it's gradually kind of coming back to normalcy, which gives me a lot of satisfaction. The things are getting better. No? So businesses always need data, and they need to understand the data in a very succinct manner, saying, how is my website performing? How is my business performing? How is my revenue performing? That's one part. So that's where we help in building dashboards. And the second thing, a lot of dashboards today have an ability called drill down, which was very difficult in the past. Now, say, for example, if I see a particular region not doing well, or a particular product category not doing well, then I can actually drill down to the next level, saying, if the EMEA region is not doing well, in the EMEA region, which particular country is not doing well? I can drill down. And if you're a retailer, you could go down from country to state to city. All this drill down has become a lot easier with various analytics tools coming your way, which were very expensive earlier. Now they're much more affordable and available to us. So this is one side of the story, which is the dashboard building. The other side is to investigate problems that business has and figure out how do we solve this problem. So one example I'll give you is I worked with a client and they were solving tickets for their customer, and they had a lot of effort variance. Like sometimes the effort variance could be plus 50%, minus 50%, all kinds of numbers were there. And obviously, it's a very unpredictable process. No, when you say I can be wrong by 50% or 75%, we don't like that. So I was asked to figure out what is the problem in the process and what can I do. So I started collecting data about tickets, and I tried to reason out with the team saying, what do you think is the reason for such effort variance? Then they said, okay, this could be technology, this could be application, blah, blah, blah. And they also identified one factor saying, was the request clear enough? If the request isn't clear enough, we have to do back and forth communication, and that actually consumes time. So when we analyzed all that data, we figured out and we created a formula, and that formula could actually help us predict the next estimation value, and we were in the plus minus 20% range. That's again a great achievement for the company because the company started predicting its work much better. So this is again another piece of analytics work that you can do where you can start trying to build some mathematical models about a particular process or an output that you're trying to estimate. And this is something I did using simple Excel, no fancy tools. So even what we consider simple Excel is very powerful to do a lot of things that you may be interested to do. Then obviously there are good tools that have been made available to us. And the good part is many of them are free. It's not that you have to pay for those tools. So many of you might have tried this tool called Power BI, which is available as a desktop version, free. Then Tableau. Tableau has a public edition, which is again free. Of course, they come with some kind of a limitation, but from a learning purpose, it's going to be pretty good. And in case you become comfortable and you are able to convince your client or customer saying we should go for an enterprise version, you can buy that as well. Then a couple of other suggestions I always give. You can learn anything on your own, no harm. But if you have a mentor, your process becomes much faster. Okay, that's what I always say. And I always say that, yes, Whitney, you raised your hand. Whitney, you want to say something? You are unmuted. I have not muted anyone. Okay. Then obviously, you should always look for opportunities to apply your learning. Like you do yourself and learn. And there is always a benefit of getting certified because that proves that you are interested in this subject. Your skills and knowledge has been tested to some extent. And those of you who are actually looking for a data analytics role as a full-time opportunity, maybe you have to get through a job selection process. Coming to the process part of it, the good part is there is already good support available from this institute called IIBA. How many of you are IIBA members? Are you an IIBA member at this time or not an IIBA member? Yes, Tatiana?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes,
Many
we
of
are.
you
Yes, I am.
members. So if you are already an IIBA member, IIBA already provides you with good documentation on data analytics process. Behavioral skills, it's not that strong. I mean, there are books available, but I think this part is something that we haven't paid good attention. DA tools is something that is definitely not focus of IIBA because IIBA primarily focuses on processes for various kinds of business analysis activities. So this is the process the IIBA guidebook proposes, and I have copied it here as well. But I do have a slightly more explained term here. So you could actually map it, and I do have an Excel workbook where I have mapped every step here to an actual business problem. And the business problem was the problem that I told you, which is to improve the estimation accuracy for a particular process. So anytime you have a business process problem, think, can you collect data about that business process problem? Can you build a model which will help you to do something about that process? And of course, implement it. And then if you want to kind of drive business results, maybe you do a pilot in the beginning. And then if that pilot is successful, you actually go ahead and try to do it in other projects as well. Like if you observe here in this particular diagram, say step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 is typically at a project level, like a particular program or initiative that you want to run. But 5 and 6 are more at enterprise level or organization level, where we are saying how we can kind of implement the suggestion that we have got, and then how do we make our company more data savvy. That means people trust data to make decisions. They are not going simply by hunch. I'm not saying hunch is bad. No, people have great ability to kind of guess things, but they could be wrong as well. So if your hunch is supported by data, that's the best kind of decision that you can make. Then we come to something called data tools, where we talk about different tools like Microsoft Excel. You may be surprised, Excel is surprisingly capable of doing humongous amount of data analytics work for you. Graphing, charting, so many things, pivoting, those many things are there in Excel itself. The only problem with Excel is it can be deleted quite easily, so you have to be very careful in handling Excel. And it's probably not so good for millions of records of data. No? If you have millions of records of data, it may be better for you to go to other tools like SQL, Power BI, and Tableau. Like at Adaptive, we use MS SQL, Microsoft SQL for our core data, and we try to build something called views. How many of you are familiar with something called a view as a concept? None of you? It's a good concept to learn.
Yes.
View is an important concept in data analytics where you can merge multiple tables and kind of create a view where a lot of attributes can be visible to you, not in the original table structure. In the original table structure, you may not have, like, see, typically in an original table structure, you could have things like, one second, maybe we will open another PowerPoint. I don't want to destroy this PowerPoint, or maybe I'll add a slide here. Say, for example, if you look at a particular table, like say order table, think for a minute. An order table has item, quantity, say maybe price, and the customer name, and maybe city. You are capturing from where you are selling this item. So you could actually connect the city to a state in another table, state to country, and country to region, which you could store separately. You don't have to store it in the same table, but a view would kind of populate state, country, and region data along with the order data. So I can actually query saying, give me top 20 items sold in my country or in my region. Although the original data was captured at this level, the original data did not capture state, country, or region because you have stores in particular cities. So you know if an item has been sold in this store, it means it was in this, or maybe you could also, instead of going here, you could have it in the store level. And you have captured the store data. Then you go to city, then you go to country, you go to region as well. And the new advanced tools actually help you to drill down all from top to bottom. So I can actually look at my region-wise performance, I can look at country-wise performance, I can look at state-wise performance, I can look at city-wise performance, and I can drill down to store-wise performance as well. So that's a big plus with the new analytics tools that we have with us. And a lot of people call this as something called snowflake design. You might hear this term, snowflake design. That means you have been connecting different tables to each other. And that's how you build a schema. Then Power BI and Tableau both are very similar data visualization tools. I tend to like Power BI more because I understand it a little better. But I think Tableau is also used by a lot of corporates. I see many corporates using Tableau, and Tableau has been acquired by Salesforce. So if you are using any of the Salesforce products, Tableau may be much more tightly integrated into Salesforce system. Power BI comes from Microsoft. So if your client happens to be on Microsoft platform, you are likely to use Power BI. And all this learning does take a little time. So spend some time in case you are keen to learn Power BI or SQL or Tableau. It'll probably take you 3 to 4 weeks time to learn each one of them. So in about 3 months time, you may be reasonably comfortable in using all these three technologies. Some people also learn Python, but Python is quite programmatic stuff. So if you love programming, you can also learn Python. And Python also can do a lot of data analysis. It's much more powerful than Power BI or Tableau because it's a programming language. So this is something I have seen happening now, and it's a great thing, no? Because earlier doing drill down wasn't so easy. Means you could do programmatically, but it's very hard. Whereas with these tools, such kind of drill downs become much easier. So location is one huge drop down, drill down you can see. Time is another drill down that you see. Product category is another drill down that you see. As always, I always say, if you get an opportunity, to find a good mentor for yourself. Maybe look for within your organization. Maybe there's somebody senior in your own company who is already knowing this stuff, and that person can help you to learn these tools much better. I would always love to have a mentor, especially on the tool side. And my colleague Tom Tomasovic happens to be a great mentor as well. So anytime I have a doubt, I can go back to Tom and say, Tom, I'm trying to do this. How do I do this? Again, as always, behavioral skills play an important role, whether you are playing the role of a requirements analyst or a data analyst. So this part is good, and I think I should have put those skills in the middle part, no, when I was trying to explain you requirements analyst versus data analyst profile. So these skills probably will work for you in any role that you play in an organization. Tomorrow you become a product owner, you'll still find this value. Tomorrow you become a product manager, you'll still find this valuable. So keep honing these skills as much as you can, because these are skills which will support you till the end of your life. And a lot of people are saying with the advent of AI, these skills will probably take center stage. No, because this is something AI doesn't understand at this point in time. It still has limited ability to kind of make a group work to with some work together. Those kind of skills are yet to come to AI. I'm not very sure if we will see AI facilitators. Maybe it might come in the future, but I have not seen. But there's still some time away, and these are skills which are very, very helpful for any professional. Again, always try to apply your learning wherever possible. I have been trying to do a lot of graphing, charting, pivoting to understand how are we performing. So some of the things that I use very extensively is pivot to summarize our performance. I use a lot of line charts because line charts tell us how things are moving. Is it going up, down? And if I saw the um, again, going back to HubSpot, these are things that I built in HubSpot. And there are many such things which I can build, I can show you. Some of them, many of them are line charts. I don't use pie chart as much, but if your need arises, you can always use pie charts as well. Some of them are simple data charts as well, like you can see here. This is a very simple table that's telling us which page is performing very well. And if I see some odd page of performing or some page is not performing, I can actually go back and see these are important pages for us for sure, because they are mostly related to what we are trying to sell. Then there is some other data, then there's some bar chart I have used. I've used a lot of line charts you can see here. Some simple data tables also can be helpful. So many things like you can see here. This year, it seems to be capturing a lot less data. So this is a data problem that we have to fix. Again, this is a bar chart. This is again a bar chart. So mostly line chart, bar chart and all, but there are also interesting charts. Like say, for example, when I was creating this PPT, I saw some spider chart. Now, you might have heard this called a spider chart, which is essentially telling you that you are expected to be performing at certain level, but you are performing at this level. So this gap indicates how far are you from the skill level required. Like this person seems to be very good in data cleaning, but not so good in Excel or not so good in data visualization. So spider charts are very helpful in terms of presenting your desired performance versus your actual performance. And there's so many charts in Excel itself. I remember having 18 or 20 different chart types. And most of the charts will also be replicable in Power BI. Because Power BI and Excel have very close affinity, both being from Microsoft. Okay, then, okay, coming down, this is what I was talking to you. And anytime you have some data in your organization or you're seeing some problem with the process, try collecting some data. Okay. And maybe that data is already available in your tool like Jira or some other project management tool and see if you can do something. I pull a lot of data from our internal project management tool, and I also pull a lot of data from our CRM and LMS system. So these are the three systems from where I'm trying to pull all this data. My aim is to build a data warehouse for ourselves, but that's still a little bit of a distant dream. But hopefully someday in future, I'm trying to talk to a company where they can help us to build a data warehouse, because we have been collecting data for 8 years now, and we have some good data within ourselves. And I'm also trying to see if I can merge it with some external data source like LinkedIn or something. But that's a little crazy to think at this time. A lot of good data is also available in the marketplace. No, if you go, how rich is LinkedIn in terms of data about individual professionals? Do you think it's a rich data source or not a rich data source?
Rich.
Yeah, it is a very rich data source. So if somebody can actually connect to LinkedIn and understand how things are, you can actually make a lot of uh, value for your company, especially if you're in coaching, training business. It's an amazing connection that you can build. Yeah, Whitney says, we were just trained in Power BI. Power BI is good. I don't think it's a very powerful tool. A lot of companies use. So if you're getting good with Power BI, that itself is quite an achievement, I would say. And of course, there are of course more complicated tools that I hear. Uh, I hear something called Databricks or something. And data is growing like anything, but you have to figure out at what stage you want to stop. There are a lot of tools which are coming in the uh, high-end data science space, but I'm not looking at somebody becoming a data scientist at this level. First, from requirements analyst, you become a data analyst. From data analyst, you could look at a data scientist role. But for a data scientist role, you need to have some good programming knowledge and an amazing mathematical bent of mind, which I don't have. So I'm not trying to become a data scientist because I probably may not enjoy it, or till the time I don't understand it very well, I don't want to get into a space. Whereas analytics is something that I can see a day-to-day use for our company, for myself. So that's why I've been very keen on learning about data analytics. Again, always remember, a branded product is always valued more than an unbranded product. There is no doubt about it. So if you get certified in any of the data analytics programs, be it IIBA, be it non-IIBA, if there is an opportunity that you see in your organization, you can always say, okay, I have done this course, I have been certified, so consider me. If you haven't done anything and then you demand saying, consider me, probably your case is very weak. So if you have done some training, you've done some certification, it's going to make your case much stronger. Then those of you who are looking at finding an analytics role, you obviously have to do a couple of things. One, many of us may not have updated our resume for some time. So get a professional resume done. There are good AI tools also available today to us to create resumes. I believe many of you know it. And also leverage LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a great platform to network, to connect, to discuss a lot of ideas about that you have. And a lot of people are actually observing you, as a professional, what kind of activities you do on LinkedIn. And that could also open up opportunities for you. Then interview process, again, like a resume is first step, and we should try to get our resume shortlisted. And then after that, we should find out how to actually do well in an interview. So we actually teach this interview process, resume process as part of our skill training as well. And one of the key things I always tell my participants is to drive the interview rather than getting driven by the interviewer. So that's a trick that you need to learn. How do you control the interview process, not let the control pass on to the interviewer? And that technique has worked very well for me. Okay. Then coming back to adaptive, I believe many of you may know a little bit about us. I'll just take 2 minutes. One, as I was saying, we investigated our marketplace and we kind of came up with these products called Masterclass Lite products. And we do have a CBDA Masterclass Lite product as well at USD 420. This gives you all resources and the access to the live training as well. Okay, so if any one of you are interested to do either ECBA, CCBA, CBAP, you do have a good price point available to you today. Then this I will skip. I don't want to spend time here. In fact, as I made the presentation, we were at 2100 last month, 2 months back. Now we are at 2200 plus, which is a good number to look at. And I think I'm hoping maybe by this year end, we could reach somewhat close to 2500. That's a target that we have for ourselves. Okay, and we do pride ourselves in terms of our content quality, our expert mentor quality, and we only have 6 mentors on board. We don't have many, but they are truly top-notch professionals in their field. And most of our products come with success guarantee. You may be aware. If we have promised something, especially for IIB certifications, if they don't happen for any reason after following our method, we will support you with 2 free retakes. That's something that we do. And I think nobody else, in my knowledge, does this. And most of our data side training happens by 2 of my other colleagues. I don't do data side so much. It's Tom Tomasovic. Tom is an amazing, avid data enthusiast. And it also happens by my colleague, Olivia Hampton. She's also a very seasoned, calm, and composed professional to learn from. Bindu mostly takes care of our cybersecurity related things. I, Victoria, and Laura, we mostly take care of the Babok related trainings. This is how we distribute our work, although we can support each other in other areas if needed. Okay, then we do have a new CBDA and DA bootcamp starting on August 3rd. And just to tell you, we also provide you a little bit of a discount on your exam vouchers in case you have been a student. If you are already a student, you can buy IIB exam vouchers at a small discount. It's not huge, but it's not small. It's like $34. Why do you do $34 when you get the same product? Okay, then my colleagues also told me one interesting thing. We do have a program called Data Skills, and it's running 50% off. So it's priced at a $1,600, but it is available to you at $800. And then we also have a CBDA Ultimate Plan on which there is an offer of $300. These are the 2 offers that they wanted me to communicate to you. And one more thing they said is, what do we cover as part of our data analytics training? There is a program on Excel, there is a program on Tableau, there is a program on SQL, there is a program on Power BI, and there is a module on resume and interview prep as well. So these are the topics that we cover as part of our data skills training. And you can join one of them as well. But only thing it should be happening, and mostly it happens. So if you are keen only on learning SQL or Power BI, you can join that session as well. So this is what I wanted to cover with you guys. And let me see if there are some questions for me. Oh, Sari says, very good, I'm glad. Thank you. And did you complete the ECBA certification, Sherry, or it is yet to be taken up?
Yeah, I completed it in April of this year.
Okay. So you've done it quite some time back. Okay,
Yes.
glad. Yeah.
Yep. So
So
I'm now certified. Yep. Thank you.
So good. Thank you for joining the webinar as well.
Yeah,
Any
you're
other
welcome.
question from anybody else? Nena?
Sorry, can we see those codes again?
Sorry, who was speaking?
It's Imran. Sorry, could I see those codes again? Discount codes?
Okay, 1 second. Here it goes.
Thank you.
Oh, Iris. Iris said, I completed ECBA last month. Is the BA bootcamp DA run in the same way? Very similar way. All our programs usually run once in a week. We don't do more than one session a week. But sometimes you could find a 2-week gap as well. So just observe the schedule. It generally is comfortable. We don't make it very rust kind of a thing. So you can join and you can take a look when the programs are there. Most of the CBDA non-core courses run on Sunday, whereas the core courses usually run on Saturday. But there could be some mix-up here and there. Take a look at the calendar for the exact dates. And one more thing, if you have been an existing student for us, you also get a 15% repeat bonus. You can ask for it. It's a policy. Nobody will deny you that benefit. No? So that's on top of whatever discounts are there. So as a repeat student, you get some extra benefit as well. Good. Any other question, anybody else? The only thing that I would share with all of you is the Excel workbook that I said, where I had mapped the data analytics process with what I did in that particular project. So you can get a feel of how that project ran and what kind of output or outcome we achieved because of that particular project. Okay. Good. So if you folks don't have any further question, maybe we can stop here. Okay. Tatiana says, I have held the CCBA certification thanks to Adaptive US. Very good. For the past 3 years, and I'm now open up for recertification. Okay. Wow. Very good. Tatiana, CBAP is always priced. It has been in the market. A lot more employers know about CBAP compared to CBDA. So I believe you can take CBDA and CBAP both. Depends on you. If you want to start, one thing is if you do CBAP, CCBA is maintained. That's a plus point. But I would recommend look at CBDA as well, whichever. And because you are doing BI work, or you're already doing CBDA certification, then it's good. Then I think finish one and then go for other. Don't try multiple things at the same time. That'll be hard on you, no? Usually have one goal at a time. Whitney has a question. How often do you have to recertify ECBA? Never. That's a good news about ECBA. If you are an ECBA, you're an ECBA forever. That's a plus point about being ECBA. Others do require a recertification. Good. So let me thank all of you for joining us today. It's always a pleasure to meet new business analysts, many of our past students as well during these webinars. And let's stay in touch. If you have any questions, you can write to our customer success team. The email ID is very simple. It's cscustomersuccess@adaptiveus.com. And they would be happy to answer any question you have about our products or services or anything that you have in your mind. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.